What's up, guys? Welcome back to Zach's Almanac. We're back with college football. I got Dylan next to me. It's good to be back. It's an electric feeling for sure. We're gonna break down a lot of stuff, but we got a list of things we want to get to in this episode. Before we get into that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and drop a comment below. Um, First and foremost, there's so much to be happy about going into this week. We have games spread out Thursday, I think even maybe Wednesday, all the way through Sunday because Notre Dame plays at Miami Sunday at 7:30, so that's going to be electric. Games all across the board. We're going to be doing NFL as well, but that's not here yet. What's here is college football. So getting into it, I'm going to switch it over to Dylan and get his 2025-2026 Heisman pick for the year.
All right, so what I'm thinking here this year is I think it's a year of the non QB to get a Heisman. I'm taking gonna spread some money on Jeremiah Love, Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State. Also, he's my favorite right now. I just think the quarterback play, like obviously you got Archie Manning, which he plays for Texas. I'm not a big fan of Texas quarterbacks. I don't think he'll get as much passing done. I mean, him and Quinn Ewers are kind of the same kind of quarterback, and I think they're going to run the ball a lot. They're going to be winning a lot of games by a lot of points, and they're going to need him to not do as much as Jeremiah Love or Jeremiah Smith they're going to be doing for their particular teams. So I'm taking Jeremiah Smith as my Heisman. I'm also going to spread some money on Jeremiah Love, the Notre Dame running back.
It's not a bad bet, what you have. And when I'm thinking Heisman, you have to factor in a few things. You have to look at someone's schedule, what conference they're in, if they're in one. It's really a strength of schedule thing. And I'm not saying that if you play bad teams, it's a bad thing because the games where you get those, ball states of the world, and you could run for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Those are breakout games, and those are Heisman candidate games. So when I'm looking at who's got an easier schedule and stuff like that, that factors into my picking. Um, Notre Dame doesn't have an easy schedule, but if CJ Carr can go out there and prove himself against teams like Miami, teams like Texas A&M, and teams like Arkansas and SEC school, and get those early games out of the way, and he's putting up very decent numbers. The rest of the stretch, I wouldn't say is easy because we still have late games in the year that still stand out to me. You got Boise State, of course, you got USC, but he's going to be at that point what you would think to be established and doing well, and those games are going to be a lot more easier than a week one on the road, primetime Sunday against Miami Hurricanes. So CJ Carr sleeper pick plus 3,000. I like the odds there. I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit money on peanut butter and Steve Angeli. I like the kid. He helped us out big time last year coming in the game when Riley went out right before halftime against Penn State and taking us to get 3 points. That was a game changer, in my opinion, that won us that football game. A lot of people agree with that statement. It's really just not going into halftime scoreless, and Steve went out there and did that. He's playing at Syracuse now. He won the starting job, and I think the ACC is a lot weaker this time coming into the year. Normally, the ACC, there's Louisville, your Clemsons of the world, but Duke's not really that good anymore. Florida State's not that good anymore. So it's really up for the taking. And Steve can pass the ball. So if Syracuse can obviously do the right things to make him good, I could see him also winning it. We're going to get into our conference champ winners. Dylan, who do you think wins the ACC?
The ACC, I got Clemson defeating Miami. I just think Clemson's the best team all around. Obviously, Miami got Carson Beck this year, which I think he's very overrated. I don't like Carson Beck at all. He's not he's not that great of a quarterback. He honestly looks like a pimple to me. and I feel that's how he plays football.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Clemson finally took a dive into the NIL market, and Coach Dabo's always been an incredible coach, and he's a real leader. So make no mistake about it, they got a tough first game against LSU. They could very well lose that game. However, like I said just a couple seconds ago, the ACC is not what it used to be by any means. I mean, they added SMU and a few other teams, but it's not the powerhouse of schools. So I would take Clemson as well. The odds are not great, so I probably wouldn't even bet it if I'm being honest. I would take something more relative like Clemson to, I don't know, make it to the second round of the playoff or something like that. But our next conference, we got the American Conference. These are a little bit sleeper teams, but Dylan, who do you like?
In the American Conference, I got Navy. I just think Tulane took a couple steps back this year. Tulane's usually that go-to team. Last year, they didn't do very, very good in that conference, but I believe Navy runs away with that conference this year.
It's not a bad bet. Um, Navy's a very disciplined team. They stick to the script and they don't go off the rails. But I do think that Memphis is going to be sleeper mode this year. But the safe bet for me would be probably Navy as well. But don't count on Memphis. They got a few people on their team that can make some noise. And in a full breakdown episode we'll drop per conference, I'll get into the actual players and the analytics side of the things. But moving into the Big 12, who would you take?
I got a big one over here in Big 12. I'm taking Kansas at plus 1200. They're I don't know. Ever since I hit a bet with
I
them
remember.
at plus like 2,500 against what was it, Texas, and a couple of years ago, I don't know. I always had a soft spot in my heart for Kansas football.
I think they were playing Oklahoma
They were playing Texas, I believe, but it could have been Oklahoma. But I really think
because we were out that night.
yeah,
I remember you winning that bet.
and yeah, I just think Kansas. They had a really bad year last year. They were supposed to be a top team in the Big 12, but they didn't. They didn't do it. But I think this year they can. And also, Texas Tech is a very good team, but I'm taking Kansas in this one.
It's not a bad bet at all. This is a conference that is up for the taking, per se. I think you're not going to see an undefeated team in this conference as the talent's kind of spread out, and there's not a very clear cut dominant team in this conference. But I'm going to take Texas Tech here. It's a sleeper pick. I'm sure not a lot of people love that pick, but that's who I feel confident in if I were to put money on it. They are plus 600 to win the Big 12. Moving into the Big 10, this should be interesting. Dylan, who do you see coming out on top in Indianapolis?
I'm thinking Penn State. Like Penn State, very good football team. Yeah, they lost uh their main guy on defense, but their offense is just going to get better. They've got more and more. I mean, they did lose Tyler Warren, but their offense is just going to get better with Drew Aller and
Kept the running backs.
Singleton. Man, they're gonna be a great football team, and their defense is gonna be awesome.
Can
I
Mr. Franklin win the big game, though?
I think he could win the big game, but I don't think he's gonna shoot himself in the foot in the playoffs again. Just like he having Drew Aller under pressure. Like, yeah, I get you're going for the win, but you got to be safe there. You can't make him. I mean, yeah, he made the throw, but put his quarterback in a bad spot against Notre Dame last year.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I don't agree on the winner. I think that Penn State is going to be good. I don't think they're going to be Big Ten champion good. Ohio State's got a question mark at quarterback. I have yet to see this kid play. Until I see that, it'll really leave me in the air of who's really the dominant team because Ohio State has the talent elsewhere, like their wide receiver room. Their defense is always somewhat solid. And then their running backs are all usually good. And then Judkins last year and Henderson ran all over Notre Dame. But yeah, Will Howard was a dog last year, so It's tough to fill those shoes. Coming off a championship, that hangover is real. If I had to pick a team here, I think that USC would be my pick at plus 1,000. I think it's an insane long shot bet, but um, I think they're going to be really good this year, and people are not giving them credit, and that's coming from a Notre Dame fan. Um, Moving into Conference USA, it's kind of a shittier conference. Dylan, who you got?
We're going to run through these a little bit quicker. I'm just going to take Liberty here. I just think that they're the favorite in the conference, and I don't see much other talent here. Liberty has a pretty solid team like years past.
I'm going to take Western Kentucky. Just to take something separate from what you take. What are you going to do in the MAC?
The MAC, I'm going to take Ohio University. I know a couple people that went there, and I'm not a big fan of the Toledo Rockets.
Give me Miami of Ohio at plus 700. Mountain West.
I'm going to take San Jose State at plus 800. Boise State's a clear favorite, but Genty being gone, I just don't think they're going to be that good.
I'm going to take Boise State. I think they win the conference. SEC champion.
I'm going to go with LSU Tigers.
It's not a bad pick. I do have to disagree. I think that this is the year of the Manning. I very well see them winning the SEC, but at the same time, make no mistake, I very well am going to pick Alabama instead. I think Texas might have one loss or two losses and still get into the playoff, but I think Alabama wins the SEC. Moving in the Sun Belt.
The Sun Belt, I'm gonna take the Texas State at plus
And
750.
that's pretty much that conference is shit.
Yeah, pretty much garbage over here.
I'll take, give me South Alabama. I wrote that. That'll wrap us up for our conference. We're going to move into week 1 prime game picks. We can start. Let's go to. I don't think there's many good games.
There ain't any good games really on Thursday or Friday. Saturday, obviously, you got.
Let's stick to the top 25. You want to do that?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Okay.
There's a couple games outside the top 25 that I really like.
Okay.
Let's go to Saturday.
I'm happy to be back. College football is my favorite sport to watch by far. Texas versus Ohio State in Columbus. They got Ohio State minus 2.5 here. Dylan, what's your outlook on this game?
I just think Ohio State being at home, it's going to be a big deal. Texas traveling all the way to Ohio. I think Ohio State dominates this game. They win by 2 touchdowns, and obviously I'm going with the minus 2.5 for Ohio State. I think the game goes well over 47.5. I say it's going to be 34-30 final score.
I'm fading Dylan here. I like the over at 47.5, but I do like Texas plus 2.5. I think this could very well move to 3.5, and if you can get it there, great. I think it's going to be definitely a coming out party for Arch Manning. He's got playing time from last year. It wasn't in like prime time moment like this where it's noon kickoff, big noon kickoff to be exact, and that's actually going to be cool. Barstool signed their deal with them, so Dave, Big Cat, Casey Smith, Brandon Walker, the Liam Blutman ball knowers of the world are going to be live at big noon kickoff, so that's going to be fun to watch for week 1 in Columbus. Give me Texas, though. Rolling with the Longhorns here. Let's go to... I don't really like that Tennessee game. If I had to pick, though, I would take Syracuse plus 14 at the crib. And most of these games, week 1, a lot of people schedule cupcakes. Alabama, Florida State. Alabama's minus 13.5 on the road. Dylan?
I think Alabama destroys Florida State. I don't think it's close. I think Alabama minus 13.5 is a great Great pick. It's a nice filler on your parlays on this weekend because there's not very many games that are going to be close, in my opinion. But that'll be a good one to fluff up your parlay. I think they win by 3 or 4 scores.
Yeah, I could totally see that being the case. Um, week 1, Florida State, they're gonna have a Seminole chop going. It's week 1. It's a fresh start for both teams. So their crowd's gonna be involved. If Alabama can take the crowd out early, I think they win this game by at least 20 points. So give me the minus 13.5. Alabama on the road. I like that pick. I think that line's a little low. I would see that game being at like 16.5, 17.5. Um, and we got LSU-Clemson night game, 6:30, and it's going to be in Clemson.
I like, yeah, Clemson's at home, but I think LSU, Nussmeier's a dog, and I think he just takes his
This is a do or die year for Brian Kelly too.
I think LSU just goes in and dominates Clemson in Clemson. I just think Clemson is not ready for LSU. They're looking forward to that end of the year, I think, in my opinion, and LSU can't do that with being in the Southeastern Conference. Clemson's in the Cupcake ACC, and they really only have one difficult game after this week. So I just think LSU's going to come in and show them who's boss.
Shout out to my boy T-Bob. I'm going to roll with the Tigers here, LSU, and the reason being is Dylan broke it down pretty on the point. Clemson has the ability to regroup and play an easier schedule. LSU, Brian Kelly's going to have his guys aware that this is a game that they must win if they plan on seeing a playoff. I'm not saying if they lose it's the end of the world, but their backs up against the wall to start the year, heading into the SEC play, already down a point. It's the logic that I have here, and then seeing them plus money is also love. So from a gambling perspective and also a knowledge perspective, this is a do or die moment for Brian Kelly, and I could totally see LSU stealing this game at Clemson week 1. Let's move on over to. I don't really like that game.
Right there. Those 2 games right there.
You want to do the
Cal and then Utah.
Yeah, we could do Cal Oregon State. We got Oregon State minus 1.5.
I got California at plus 135.
That's who I'd take as well.
I think Cal is just underrated. Like, Oregon State's not good, and they showed it last year when California beat them 44-7. There's no way this line should be like that.
I think California has a better offense this year, actually, too. We'll see, though. The over's at 50.5. I'd probably snag that as well. It's at Oregon State, but give me California.
Hey, there's nothing better than 9:30 p.m. games on the weekend. Going into your Sunday, I mean, yeah, obviously there's no NFL on this Sunday, but that'd be great. And going to bed at 1 in the morning, getting up at 8 a.m. for NFL, it's awesome.
I would honestly lean more towards the over in that game. I probably wouldn't take California if I was betting, but if I had to pick one, I'd take Cal. Utah going into UCLA. Utah's favorited by 6.5, so a touchdown. Who do you got, Dylan?
I got UCLA. I think Nico's going to come in there, and Utah's not that good of a team. Like, yeah, that's one of the top teams in that conference, but Nico's a lot better quarterback than being. I mean, obviously UCLA had a decent quarterback last year, but now you bring in Nico from the Tennessee, and yeah, he had a rough few games at the end of the year, but he's still a lot better of a quarterback than what Utah's going to bring out.
He's a SEC caliber quarterback.
And UCLA has a very, very good receiving core, and I think they go and they score 40 points.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that statement. Them being dogs at the house to start the season is crazy, and I know Utah is usually very solid as a team. They're not phenomenal, but they're always decent. Give me UCLA. Rolling with Nico the Freako, week 1. Sunday, there's a few games. I don't really necessarily care for the South Carolina Virginia Tech game, but if I had to pick a team, I'd go with the SEC school. minus 7.5. South Carolina at home. Dylan,
I'd probably tease that to 6.5,
by a
7.5.
point, by a point down.
Seeing 7.5 is kind of iffy because in college, I mean that half a point's a really big deal. I mean even in the NFL, but in college even more so because of the overtime rules and stuff.
And then our Fighting Irish of Notre Dame travel to South Beach to take on the Convicts of Miami. The Hurricanes have a new quarterback in town by the name of Carson Beck. Carson Beck can be known for many things off the field, like the Cavendish sisters. I ain't mad at that. He got game, I guess, because I know I listen. I don't like white girls. I like Latinos. But hey, Cavendish twins.
Hey, they just got nice big tit jobs. They're not big. They just got tit jobs.
Dr. Miami out there getting them girls right. Hey, Latinas, hit me up. Cavendish twins, just as good. Come on down. Yeah. But anyway, getting into the game. This is a come out game for CJ Carr. We've heard the hype about him as Notre Dame fans. Now it's to see how good he is. We know how good Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price, Aeneas Williams, Jaden Greedhouse, Jordan Faison, Eli Raiden, our new transfers, Will Pauling, Malachi Fields. We got a bunch of returning defensive players as well. You got guys like Devontae Smith coming in the portal. You got Christian Gray returning, who's constantly getting better. You got Adon Schuler, Drake Bowen, these standout players that are going to be the difference maker in this game that have experience now. And give me Notre Dame, and I think Notre Dame pulls away late and wins by at least 10 points.
Yeah, I agree. Notre Dame minus 2.5. I just think Notre Dame smash mouth football this week. I don't think they use C.J. Carr as much. They use Jadarian Price, Jeremiah Love. They run it down their throat, and I think Carson Beck throws 2 or 3 interceptions late in the game, and they're down. They're trying to drive, and then Notre Dame's just gonna blitz his ass, and they're gonna sack him. He's gonna throw the ball, and he's gonna get intercepted. I think Notre Dame wins by 7. I see a late drive interception for Notre Dame and to end the game. I really do like Notre Dame this week.
I want to be as unbiased as possible here. I think that the sleeper player of this game is going to be someone like Jordan Faison, somebody that's faster on the edge, and you could do sweeps with, or trick plays, and he can throw the ball. We've seen the 2-point conversion tries in the championship game. So someone like Jordan Faison, who was probably going to have 40 on the ground and 80 in the air, so 120 all-purpose yards and maybe even some passing yards. That's a player I'd be using a lot because you're going to have people all over Greathouse, Pauling, and Malachi Fields. So utilizing a fast electric player like that, and also I'm pretty sure that Jeremiah Love's going to see a lot more passing plays this year with the real threat at under center and CJ Carr. But that'll wrap up this episode, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button again. Hit the subscribe button. We're doing weekly episodes again. College football's back. We're going to be doing an NFL episode coming soon. Be on the lookout for that. Love you guys. Peace. Everyone have a good week.